Legend of Zelda games have been a staple for Nintendo for a long time, and from its humble beginnings in 1986, Zelda has grown, and Link, or the protagonist, has become one of the faces of Nintendo. So I wasn't totally surprised when they announced that they were going to make a movie, especially when you consider the success that Super Mario Bros. Movie made, the actual animated Super Mario Bros. CGI movie. Not the old weird dystopian horror that this the first movie was. I did a review on this movie, by the way, if you guys want to check that out, but good lord. If you want to slim down to fit in some clothes that you couldn't fit into 2 weeks ago, watching this movie will help you greatly. I mean, wild. Anyway, the Mario Brothers movie got a makeover, and it was actually pretty good because Mario actually looked like Mario and Luigi looked like Luigi, and they felt like real characters. Here's my issue with the whole Zelda thing. Apparently, they are deciding to go the full route of, live action. And we see how well those types of movies have been working out for studios like Disney. People are kind of tired of it, and I have a feeling that, coupled with a lot of other factors, when people merely hear the word live action, their toes now curl in detest. My biggest concern is, who are they going to cast to play Link? Because so far, all the cosplays I've seen, and no matter how much I tried to shape it in my head, a live action person playing Link just comes out as a hot mess to me. Yeah. Hopefully they don't give it the Dragon Ball Z treatment, because that was rough.
Will begin.
Bro, I'm not a Dragon Ball Z fan. I looked at this and it was just complete ass. Oh my god. Who greenlit this and thought this would be a good idea? It looks horrible. When did this even come out? Okay, it's super old, but I don't even know what to say. Hopefully we can get past that and they can achieve something with a live action that will make it worthy of people's praise, because this can either be the biggest failure or the biggest hit. And I just don't see it working with a live action. Like, why didn't they go CGI like they did with Super Mario Brothers? And Sonic.
And I go around you. Sorry, perfect park.
Why did we let the alien drive?
Hey, I got us here.
Sonic worked because it was quirky and they mixed live action with the CGI mascot. But being as we have games like Tears of the Kingdom and Breath of the Wild with beautiful landscapes and fluid polygonal animation, it just seems like a very risky move to make the movie live action when this is the most recent type of representation we've had of Link or Zelda or the world of Zelda. I don't know, it's their funeral or their concert or whatever it's going to become. I'm not going to say I'm particularly excited about it because this is very embarrassing to say, but as a gamer, I have actually, like, never played any of the Zelda games.
And keep your mouth shut.
Funny because I own a few, but the only character I was really interested in was Epona, so I'd be lying if I said I wasn't curious about how it's going to turn out, but at this point, look at the horsey. Yeah, I'm all jaded because things can either flop or not, so I'm not really having high hopes for it, especially given the idea they're gonna make this live action, like fully live action. Unless they go the ridiculously efficient route of One Piece, making it a show instead. But a movie? I don't know. Live action adaptations can work, but they seem to do particularly well when the on-screen movie or source is actually really old, or if it's coming straight from the book. But coming from what is basically an animated on-screen representation of Zelda and has been since its inception, it feels like one hell of a risk for Nintendo to take. What's also wild to me is that Nintendo and Sony are teaming up to make this happen. So this is just wild to me because it was always like Nintendo against Sony. The fact that they're working together, Nintendo is finally coming out of its very narcissistic shell. Maybe because they realize that they have to. But let's see how that turns out when two sworn enemies come together and have some like hate bumping, you know what I mean? That's like the most passionate kind, I'm just saying. You will never find a more interesting pairing than two people or things that used to hate each other bumping and grinding together all of a sudden. That's passion right there. And then there's like that friendly competition because they're trying to show up each other, but kind of not. I don't know. I'm kind of excited about it now and talking about it. But bro, you know if it fails, they will never work together again. Be like, this was a bad idea. This was a mistake. We're never doing this again. So for that sake, I hope that they actually do. This does become a success. I'm a little ambivalent about it, but hopefully it does work out. One thing is for sure, we do need more video game adaptations because I think it will also help people who are not gamers to be exposed to these worlds, and maybe it'll make them curious enough to want to play. Anyways, thanks so much for watching. This has been Ultiori. You ask, we answer.